Safeguarding the rights of others is the most noble and beautiful end of a human being. Khalil Gibran. Safeguarding is fundamental for all organizations working with and for children, young people, and vulnerable adults, and has been identified as an area that needs strengthening as an improvement of practices across a number of sectors, including international aid. Well, over recent decades, victims of abuse in the aid sector have started to have their voices heard and responded to. Over the same period, many aid stakeholders have started to put in place systems and structures to reduce safeguarding risk. These strengthening measures, including capacity development, have been further enhanced since 2018, when allegations of major safeguarding incidents involving various large aid NGOs were brought forcibly to the public's attention. Dear audiences, this is your host Shoaib Mustafiz. Welcome to my podcast. So, what do we mean by safeguarding? Safeguarding is a crucial process that protects children and adults from harm, abuse, and neglect. The safety and well-being of adults and children is important as they come into contact with the services that schools and workplaces provide. It is the duty of every staff member in a school and workplace to safeguard all staff and children and provide the right services to those who are unable to protect themselves from abuse, harm, and neglect. Dear audiences, here's an important point. Safeguarding doesn't apply just in case of children or vulnerable adults. It can also equally apply in case of staff members within a work setting. Staff runs the risk of becoming abused, harmed, and neglected by their fellow staff members. That's why many organizations across the world, be it a for-profit or non-profit, they are putting systems in place. So we should be able to learn more and more about it. Today, we would also like to touch base why safeguarding is so very important. Well, if your business works with children or vulnerable adults, strict safeguarding policies must be in place. Every person should live their lives without harm, no matter the age, gender, ethnicity, or religion. It's vital that every vulnerable child, adult, and staff members are kept safe. Organizations such as schools, hospitals, care homes, charities, business organizations will have safeguarding procedures in place. Other types of workplaces must also have a plan in place to ensure all staff are looked after appropriately. For every person to be safe under your care, employees must be trained adequately so they can carry out safeguarding duties as expected. You must be vigilant for potential signs of abuse and neglect because missing them would be catastrophic. If an organization has poor safeguarding policies or no safeguarding in place, that might lead to abuse and neglect being missed, an increase in abuse cases, vulnerable people not being treated with compassion or empathy, increased confusion and distress for suffering individuals because they have no one to turn to, a complete loss of dignity and autonomy for vulnerable adults. So you understand the value of putting safeguarding mechanisms in place, and it's also important that people are aware of it. They know how to prevent themselves as well as help others to stay protected. They also learn the technique of responding to a certain situation and reporting as per organizational system. This is not a mechanical system in place. This is an important procedure which everybody must know, learn about it, because it's also related to people's human rights. Let's learn about safeguarding and let's be a part of this movement. Thank you very much.